Steve and Alan's Pro Tips in a short time. Learn a lot.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Alan.
So, marching band season is starting to wrap up, and you and I were both out giving clinics to bands this fall. And I'm curious if you've got any lessons learned from the season as an observer.
You know what? I do. And stay with us, listeners, because I think this applies to all ensemble directors, choral and instrumental, not just marching band.
Oh, I cannot wait. Let's roll.
So it seems like many comments from clinicians and judges fall into the category directors, at least I, might call, yes, I agree with that. And there's no way we can fix it right now.
You mean comments like the drill in your closer is cool. Now you just need to execute it a lot better.
Right. And not just tweak it, but more like there are still many students who are struggling with this tempo or remembering where to go on the field.
Or, hey, it sounds like your trumpet players are totally out of gas at the end of the show.
Right. And again, and it's not just, oh, today didn't go so well, but it's more like, yeah, if I'm honest with myself, they've always been pretty tired at the end of this show.
So, there's nothing you can do about that. So, is your pro tip to just ignore all those kinds of comments?
You jest. But I believe this is what many directors do, kind of unconsciously. Whether it's your choir performing at a festival, your jazz band at a competition, or the marching band season, directors tend to hear comments from judges and think, right, my kids can't do that. Or, this repertoire is cool and I was smart to pick it, but my darn students just aren't able to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I do think it's more subconscious. Maybe it's a coping mechanism. Like, I'm a good teacher. I pick good material for my students. They have a valuable aesthetic experience because it's high level stuff. They just can't do some of it. So it's time to move on and think about something else.
Right. And for the comments that we can fix in the next week or so, I believe most directors do a good job of learning from those and implementing the ideas. It's the coping, you called it, that you just mentioned, the moving on and thinking about something else. That's my recommendation. Don't.
So they're supposed to just sit there feeling guilty? Or are they supposed to fix stuff that we just admitted they can't fix right now with the time and students they have?
I'm not suggesting they fix it now. I'm suggesting they listen to the comments, especially after those final performances, and use those to inform what they do next year.
So don't you think they're already doing that?
I do, but I bet most aren't doing it to the extent they could. And back to my old pal, Future Steve, my hope is that with a little bit of time right now, our listeners can make their future selves happier. Think about it for a second. When do we likely pick our marching band show?
Sometime between the end of marching band season and at the end of the school year. I think most people pick it March, April, May.
Right. And that time of year, every student is usually playing the best they'll be playing all year. They're in the routine. They've been sitting down and playing in climate controlled rooms with sheet music on stands in front of them and so forth.
Okay, that's a good point. So in April, when I'm trying to design my marching band show for next fall, I'm basically surrounded by a set of circumstances that won't exist in August. The students won't be playing as well, they won't be as bonded, they'll be outside, they'll need to memorize their music, etc.
Right. So here's my suggestion. After the final performance of your marching band show, your April choir concert, your February jazz festival, write some notes to your future self to be read and reviewed when you are picking next year's April choir concert repertoire or the February jazz band contest music. What didn't go well? Where did you overestimate? What needs to be simpler? Alan, how many directors do we run into during the month of September every year who are stressed about the rain and how behind they are on teaching and cleaning drill?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Right. And you know who isn't stressed? That's the director who picked a marching band show with fewer sets to learn. If I overshot, there's usually not a lot I can do about it during the midway point of the season. But I could definitely make some notes so I don't make the same mistake again next year. And that's probably the most frustrating thing to me as a clinician or adjudicator, and that's watching the same teachers make the same mistakes year after year. So, can you help me out with this? What do you suggest listeners do to help remind their future selves not to make the same big picture programming errors?
I got a few ideas for you. One of them is involve the students. Get out a big piece of chart paper and ask the students the question, like 1 or 2 days after the season ends, whatever season we're talking about, and say, what are things that went well and what are things that we should take a look at for the future? And take those things and write them down on a big piece of chart paper, fold it up, and put it in your filing cabinet. All right. Two more things: accountability partner and a calendar reminder. So, first, find someone you trust and share your own notes with them, the notes that you suggested that they write, also the stuff that the students had input on, and tell them to hold you to your commitments. And number two, the calendar reminder. Use whatever app you use for reminders and say, on March 31st, remind me to check in with my accountability partner and reread my notes about marching band programming. Or on December 15th, remind me to check in with Steve about my notes on pieces for the April concert.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. So, listeners, when you find yourself thinking, yeah, this isn't working, but I can't do much about it right now, I think that's totally cool, but only if you take it one step further and keep yourself from making the same mistake again.
Yeah. Yep. Good stuff. Thanks, Steve.
My pleasure, Alan.
Steve and Alan's Pro Tips in a short time. Learn a lot.